comic book fans, and welcome to another exciting edition of Cammy's Comic Corner. I'm your host, as always, Cammy. Now, this week was a good week for comics. I was very content with this week's books. Got a Fast Five for you, got a pick of the week, and let me just say ahead of time, Secret Invasion number 8 wasn't bad. Batman R.I.P. Last Rites wasn't bad. But enough about what wasn't bad. Let's get on to what was pretty damn good. From Marvel's Max imprint, we have The Punisher Christmas Special, written by Jason Aaron and art by Roland Boschi. Now, we all know that Jason Aaron can write Ghost Rider, and he can also write a pretty damn good Wolverine. What I didn't know, and I didn't piece together until now, was putting Jason Aaron on The Punisher. It was just a perfect fit, as this issue shows. We follow the Castellano family, who they're waiting a birth. They're hoping for a son to keep the Castellano empire continuing on. If you haven't pieced it together, they're a mafia mob family, and you know who doesn't like the mafia slash mob? It's the Punisher. But we found out that another rival mob wants to kill this child to make sure this empire is going to crumble to the ground. And they go to such extremes as going to the nearby hospital, killing every newborn infant just to make sure. Turns out none of the infants that died in the gunfire were actually the kid they were looking for. So Punisher feels obligated to protect this pregnant woman with this child because, you know, the kid's innocent. The family might not be, but he can deal with them later. And sure enough, he does. After killing a couple of wise men, 3 to be in fact. 3 wise men, get it? Punisher does the deed, he delivers the child, and sure enough, kills the dad, and then shortly after kills the mom, because the kid is innocent. Those guys aren't. They have tons of blood on their hands, and Frank Castle takes the kid to a nearby church, gives it to the father, and says, "Here, give this child some hope." And that's the end of the issue. It's a great... I don't pick up specials like Halloween specials or Christmas specials, but since it was Jason Aaron, of all people, on The Punisher, I just had to check it out for myself. And sure enough, I was really thrilled with the result. So if you want a good Christmas tale that would make even Santa shit himself silly, if he was in the mob, I would highly recommend The Punisher Christmas Special. Now, on to the Fast Five. First up, from Marvel, we have The Immortal Iron Fist number 20. Now, I wasn't really all that sure after Fraction, Brubaker, and Asia left that I'd be still picking up The Immortal Iron Fist. Turns out, I like what I read, and this finally, in the last issue of this arc, Swarzynski kind of won me over. Like, it was Danny Rand fighting Shi-Lin, the monster that came from the rumored, fabled 8th City, and after being pretty much beaten senseless, Danny Rand comes back at the last second with an iron fist punch of rage, if that makes any sense, and destroys Shin-Lin. And now, if we get flash forwards into the future, of them at the gates of the 8th City, but, you know, at the end of the day, Danny can't get by unless he has a little help from his friends. Can't get high unless he has a little help with his friends. I kind of butchered that song. But enough about the song. It was a fun issue. If you were kind of wary about the Immortal Iron Fist, you know, why not try this issue out? Might do you some good. Next up, from Dark Horse Entertainment, we have Hellboy, The Wild Hunt number 1. This is a number 1 issue in an 8-issue series. Basically, Hellboy is being called to England. When he meets with the Osiris cult. I don't know if they're kind of a cult, but they're a rich organization, and they do things, you know, behind the scenes that the public doesn't see. And in this issue, we find out that they're hunting giants that have come back to life and are roaming the English countryside. We go by their nice little trophy room, consisting of many giants' heads, and Hellboy says, hey, you know, why not? What the hell could go wrong? Well, it turns out he might be the main prey as this hunting party stabs him in the back quite literally at the end of the issue, making me want to know what the hell's going to happen next. Mike Mignola sure knows how to spin a story, and even though he might not be doing the interior art, I still love him regardless. Next up, from Icon Entertainment, we have Criminal Volume 2, number 7. Now, unfortunately, this is the final issue in Brubaker and Phillips' Criminal Masterpiece series collection. Yeah. In this issue, we find Jacob, who just found out that Detective Starr and his honey Iris have been planning this whole whole evil, vicious plan against him from the get-go. Finally, he'd get flashbacks of Iris always being there when he was mentally unstable, and turns out by the end of this issue, after finally getting his revenge and finally silencing Detective Starr, finally getting that monkey off his back, Jacob goes a little crazy. And in an attempt to kill himself along the same road that his wife died, he survives. Iris doesn't, but he survives, and finds out at the end he's pretty much gone out of his mind, helpless, doesn't have his cartoon character Frank with him anymore. Frank's gone on to the new writer, and, leaves Jacob lying there in the hospital bed. I really enjoyed this arc. This is, I think, a very nice way to end the series. And even though, it's not a happy ending, it's still one that makes you go, crime doesn't pay. Well done, Brubaker and Phillips. Well done. Next up, from DC, we have Justice Society of America number 21. Now, this is it. This is the fight you've all been waiting for. The entire JSA versus GOG. JSA finally did their homework, said, hey, whoa. On the 7th day, it says GOG will save the world. And by save, I think he actually means destroy the world, making, everyone die in the process. So JSA doesn't like this. They finally battle against GOG, and GOG starts turning one by one each character into maybe Earth 22, aka Kingdom Come versions of themselves. Jay Garrick suddenly turns into the Flash that, is constantly moving. Alan Scott dons the Green Lantern armor that you see in Kingdom Come, and many more. It's a great issue from GOG fighting the entire GSA to Superman punching lightning bolts. Literally punching lightning bolts. So if you've been finally waiting for the penultimate issue where shit finally goes down, this is this issue. And the conclusion is going to be breathtaking, and it's coming out next month. So keep your eyes peeled for this classic JSA story. One for the books. And finally from Marvel this week we have The Amazing Spider-Man number 579. Now this is part 2 of Wade's story. The story arc that really got me back into loving Spider-Man, because in this issue we still get the humor, we still get the drama, and we still get the action. Spider-Man's able to find an opening thanks to Shocker's gauntlets, and gets all the jurors out. And in the end, Shocker betrays them all, as usual, gets away clean, while Spider-Man has to do the right thing, and instead of going after him, help the innocents get up back towards the surface. So I really enjoyed this issue, even though there wasn't any reunion between J. Jonah Jameson Jr. and J. Jonah Jameson Sr., because Sr. disappears in the crowd when the ambulance is taking care of people. So, it's been a fun arc. I've really enjoyed it, and, who knows, maybe the Spider-Man bug bit me once more. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Well, comic book fans, that does it this week. If you want more Cammy's Comic Corner goodness, go to www.cammyscomicorner.com. From there, you can subscribe to us on the RSS feed, or just click on the link to go to iTunes. And also, go chat on the forums. We got plenty of threads. Some of my good old buddies are posting there. So, don't you want to be a part of this fun, humor, what have you? Also, if you like the cool comic book t-shirts that I've been proudly displaying, you should go over to deadlinegraphics.net. From now until the end of the year, you can get 10% off your order. And they have a selection of comic book t-shirts to choose from. You're going to find something that you like. And, don't take my word for it. Head on over to deadlinegraphics.net, send Kelly an email, and see what beautiful shirts he has available for you. There's only one name I trust in the comic book t-shirt industry. It's Kelly at deadlinegraphics.net. Well, comic book fans, that really does do it for Cammy's Comic Corner this week. Tune in this Sunday for the Punisher episode, where I'll be seeing the Punisher Warzone tonight, give my review on Sunday, along with all the other comic books Punisher related that you should be reading. Well, I hope you had a good week for comics. I certainly did. I'll see you here, same time, next week. This has been Cammy's Comic Corner. I've been your host, Cammy, and I'm kind of tired right now.